Oh yeah.
You recording all the water bottles, dude?
All the
Frozen.
they're all frozen.
That's how cold it is.
Let's bet a coffee shake on it right now. They're 17s, right? They're not. They're 18s. They're 18s. They're not 17s.
Yes, they are. Look.
No, they're not.
Look.
They're not.
Look.
They're not. That's not on there.
Yes, it is.
We need a deep one to see. Bring it in there. Bring it in the garage. Let's go. Okay, I'm betting you a coffee. All right. So here's a 17 deep socket. Oh shit, it's a 17. Fuck! I thought they were 18s. You won this bet. Hey, but don't let him talk. He didn't know his own wheel size and I got a coffee out of him. Mr. 19 by 10 and a half. No, 19 by 10s. You explain what's going on.
Oh, I thought that was gonna work a lot easier.
We're getting the dirty Steed back in the garage.
Dirty Steve, that's you. That's that part. It's like, it wants to be clean Steve, but like...
Steve, I said dirty Steed.
Oh.
Not, I would name your car Dirty Steve.
I don't know.
I said Dirty Steed. Thanks for the anchor, Quan.
Better hook his near.
A tow truck would probably hook a tow hook to this to pull it off on the freaking...
Probably. He'd be like, let me just tie a strap around this here snail.
Out here, push it a little bit. I can open this door. Pushing by the turbo. Alright, so we're working on the E36 today. We are gonna hopefully get this thing, well, we're gonna get it running today. We wanna get it driving, we would like to get it stopping. Basically the essentials to drive. We have to change out one fitting that stripped on us a while ago when we were trying to put it back together after paint. So we're gonna switch that out first. Then we're gonna tackle the wiring, get it all hooked up on the engine, the starter. After that, we're gonna hopefully bleed the clutch with a vacuum bleeder that I bought to actually get it properly bled. And then bleed the brakes maybe. The brakes aren't really important, but clutch disengaging is good and running is good so we can drive it in and out of the garage until we get it dialed in. Because as you guys know, this has been a project going on forever. But you guys, I don't even think haven't seen this, that we got a throttle cable on there. It's not hooked up all the way yet, but I mean it's there. It's just something, you know, we need to focus on for 20 minutes. And we'll have that, so that'll be nice because this car's never, ever had a throttle cable. That was like one of the easy things to do, but it was like tough to find. So let's just get started on getting this thing back together. Yeah, that happened to my glove.
This heater is so hot. It started burning my pants, and I didn't know.
Huh?
What are you doing?
Well, it's too loud to even talk because the heater's on, but we're installing brake lines.
I can't hear you.
We are installing brake lines. We're gonna do big brake shit.
Big brakes. I got stock brakes.
Alright, so we got most of the stuff back together, but we have to remake one wire real quick, which is this wire. This is your main powertrain fuse block to your new fuse block from Wiring Specialist and your starter. The reason we have to redo it is because the fuse block used to sit here. We relocated it to the tranny tunnel, so we're going to redo that power wire to the starter and that power wire to the fuse box, and we're going to use a more flexible wire instead of this kind of rigid, tough wire. So we got to go to the store and do that. Please, someone out there, help this man. I won't even focus. Picking up some wire. This is good stuff instead of using like something that isn't flexible like welding wire. It is really, really flexible. Ooh. Peep the jet tag. Just picked up the pulley from AutoZone and tell me this does not look like a XXR 527 wheel. I'm pretty sure it's a 527 I'm thinking of, but how like the spokes poke out, that's pretty funny. But hopefully this pulley works so it solves our pulley issue.
We were on a slight hill. And Sebastian couldn't drive.
Almost stalled it. I panicked and I did a burnout and I left.
And I left.
That's it. This thing sucks.
Is this zoomed in or? Oh, well zoomed in.
All right, so we are back. We got the wiring right here, but the first thing we went ahead and did was we got Zach's power steering pulley on back down there, which you guys can barely see, but the entire belt system was on the serpentine. It's one big belt on this car, so that is super good. That's been something that's been holding us back for a while, and now that we have a metal pulley, it shouldn't break. Next step is going to be installing our power wire from the fuse block to the starter, and from the starter to the other fuse block, which is the factory one for a BMW. All right, so we have to run a wire from right back there into the inside of there to that fuse block that you guys can see back there, and then we also have to run a power wire from that to the starter down here. So I'm gonna go ahead and make that wire real quick. It's really easy. You just put some 4-gauge terminals on the back of each ends of this 4-gauge wire. All right, so after a couple failed just attempts of doing things, we finally got everything sorted out. It's time to start the car.
Is it?
Yeah, we're just gonna start it and then shut it off because we wanna make sure it runs before we put coolant in it and stuff. So we don't have to take anything apart. Go ahead. Your blinker's on there.
Turning left.
May need a mass airflow. All right, so we forgot to hook up the map, so now we have that hooked up. We don't have the mass airflow, just the map for right now. Cranker boy. Okay, she runs tremendous. This man didn't have a couple coil packs hooked up. I think it's still out of gas, but here, we'll try it with starting fluid this time.
Jesus.
I can't get in there. All right, go ahead. Dang, it's gotta be like dead out of fuel or something.
What is going on?
I just popped 2 spark plug wires. Ready? I think you got that one. You didn't get those back 2 though. These were not on, like not on.
No, they weren't?
It's alright, these stupid plugs can be. Can't get it on there. Alright, go ahead and try start it now. Mister, I can't put any of my coil packs on. Alright, we finally think we found out the problem, why the car wasn't starting. So, number 1, we didn't plug in our coil packs. Number 2, we didn't plug in our ECU.
We don't know if the coil packs are plugged in.
We didn't plug in our ECU. So we're gonna hook that up, and hopefully it starts this time, because without an ECU,
that's a pretty crucial thing.
Yeah. You should definitely kids, never forget to hook up your ECUs. Oh yeah. Whoa! It just shot a flame! It shot a flame out of your intake. Whoa! That's not okay.
It's because you had all that starter fluid in there.
Yeah. I can feel it in my heart when it runs. Like, I wish you guys could feel it, but it's like, you can just like feel it. It's like, oh. All right. Oh my gosh, guys, guess what time it is? We're putting coolant in the E36. There is a chance that the next video that you guys see of this car, it could be on the street.
Don't count on it.
I don't count on it, but it could be on the street.
It could, if we weren't lazy.
Lazy, we have been working so hard today. Guys, look at this engine bay. Oh, look, my car.
The hardest thing we did today was put it on jack stand.
The coolest thing about this car compared to my car is everything that we've ever done has kind of went smoothly. I've had some hiccups and stuff, but this car has been a war, and it's gonna feel so good to finally drive in it. I mean, look how pretty the engine bay is. Like, it's finally, you know, all done. Now we need to do the outside, but like, driving my car was the biggest success ever. But once me and him cruise in the E36, over a year of blood, sweat, and tears, busted knuckles, broken tools, empty banks.
There's been a lot of empty banks.
It is, oh my goodness. This car is going to be the biggest success of it all, just because of the struggle. The struggle in this car was something serious. All right, I'm pretty sure it's in focus. We're about to, We're about to start the E36 and let it run. I'm just going to keep adding coolant, and hopefully we don't get any leaks. We probably will, but we'll see. All right. Trying to hold these wires away from it from melting.
The belt was charging.
A sick intake. The E36 is gonna rip tomorrow. We are driving this thing tomorrow. We really should just do the fucking brakes right now, just to prove that this thing's gonna drive tomorrow. Alright, so we're gonna end tonight's video here. Sadly, we could not bleed the brakes because of technical difficulty. We replaced a fitting earlier and it just started leaking again. We didn't think it was the right fitting. It was the right threads and everything, but like the actual part that squeezes between the piece to seal was different, but we just went ahead and tried it anyways because we were excited to get working on the car again, and it was wrong. So we're gonna go up to a local hydraulics store tomorrow, hopefully get that part, because if we do, our brakes will be good, which means our clutch will be good because they're on the same system, and we should be able to drive the car. So I hope you guys are excited to finally see this car driving, and my slave cylinder is on the way, so this car will be driving, and then both cars will be driving, and then we'll have 2 pink and white cars, and we'll be a team for once. We'll catch you next time.
Add me on Snapchat.
Peace out.
You better put it in there.
It's a shameless plug right there.
Because I want
Peace.
friends on Snapchat. I don't want to